Hi there members, Mark Alison, your golf professional at Cronulla Golf Club. Just wanted to talk to you about golf balls and golf ball options. The number of people I ask, what ball do you use, and the common answer I get, whichever one comes out of the bag, which isn't really good enough. It is the only piece of equipment we use for every single shot we hit. So we need to be a little more aware of what the golf ball's characteristics are. They can fly higher, they can fly lower, they can go faster, they can spin more, spin less, spin more off driver, spin less with everything else. There are a lot of characteristics that can help us out with our game. We need to understand their characteristics and ours. If I'm a bad chipper, maybe one of these premium balls might help me out. If I'm spinning the ball a little too much, maybe I need to be looking at something that maybe is going to spin a little less, might have my irons go a little further. If I know what I'm looking for, I think I can improve my game. Let's pop into the studio and find out what they do. Okay, just to start the testing, I'm going to start with what widely regarded the benchmark of the industry for a couple of decades now, the Titleist Pro V1. It's a ball I've played a lot over the years. This is the new version of. I know what it's going to feel like. I know it's going to feel nice. I know it's going to feel soft. I'm expecting a lowish ball flight, but quite nice spin rates. Let's see if we get the same sort of information as we've had in the past. It's a very well played ball on a lot of tours because it does what people expect, and there's certainly some benefit. If you need help holding greens, if we want a little more distance, this sort of ball is going to help us out. We're going to move into the Pro V1 X. I used to play this ball some years ago. I've played it on and off. I've tinkered with Pro V1, Pro V1 X. I'll be honest, I used to play this ball for a really dumb reason. I like red numbers. Great decision to make to play the ball. But for me, this is a high flying ball, certainly off the driver. High fly, low and spin, which is really nice. Actually spins a touch more into the greens than the Pro V1. So quite useful if we're struggling inside 100 yards. Maybe a ball like this might help us out, especially the condition the guys get our greens in these days. Let's see what we get. Certainly a little higher flight, touch more spin. Good sort of numbers again, same sort of distance as expected. Descent angle, the angle in which that ball's landing is improving. So again, a ball like this helps me get into some corners of greens, gets at some tougher flags, carry bunkers and hold greens. A ball that Titleist added to their range a few years ago now, the AVX. It was an interesting ball when it came to the market, and it's really sort of found its feet. It's a lower flying ball, lower spin ball. Still a premium cover, so still feels great. Often distance balls feel kind of hard. This is, and I've hit this one before, a nice feeling golf ball, does fly a bit lower, does spin a little less. So this particular ball, when Titleist threw it the market, was for trying to find more distance in irons. So the spin keeps the ball in the air, a little less spin keeps it in the air, but has it reach out a bit further. Let's see if we can get a bit more distance than we got out of the Pro V1 or Pro V1 X. Yeah, still feels like a really good ball. Definitely flying a little bit lower, landing at a different angle. So if you want to try and sneak a little more distance out of your irons, but you still appreciate a really nice feeling ball to putt with and chip with and hit, not a bad option. So we have looked at the #1 ball in golf, and I do like the new tagline that TaylorMade came up with not long ago. Instead of playing the best ball, play the one that beats it. The TaylorMade TP5 is a ball I played a little bit through last year. Great feeling ball. I really found the distance was very good. The feel was great. The performance around the greens, really, really good. It's built as a comparison to the Pro V1, which, as I talked about earlier, benchmark of the industry. And I think it doesn't miss. Really good golf ball. Let's see what numbers we get. That one felt even better. And yeah, that one carried that a little bit further. I did find this ball, especially with irons, I did get maybe half a club extra carry out of it. Really, really good performing ball. I found when I played it, really held up really well, very durable. Okay, if we'd like an alternative from the Titleist Pro V, Pro V1, #1 ball in golf, we can try the one that beats it. The TP5X. This is pitched as their fastest and longest and highest. So if we're battling with distance, you know, no one says no to more distance. Certainly off the tee and with irons, this is going to go a little higher, this is going to travel a little faster, it's going to travel a little further. I'm hoping to pick up maybe half a club of distance with this one. which would interest me. Certainly faster. I think that's my longest carry so far. That's good. That ball speed's a joke. How good's that? So to go down to the other end of the scale as well, I've brought in the TaylorMade Soft Response. Definitely a great price point. It's an ionomer cover rather than a urethane cover, so you can kind of see it in the finish. But from all accounts, still very durable, very soft feeling. It's one of the low compression distance balls. So very, very soft feeling, great for slower swing speeds, to get a little bit of lift, a little bit of launch, a little bit of speed, but still, again, avoiding being a really hard golf ball. So, I don't know, for a slower swing speed that might have elbow, shoulder, wrist issues, low compression ball is going to help us out, whether it be by performance or just our enjoyment of it. And that definitely feels soft. That felt great to hit. Performance pretty good. Definitely felt nice and soft. That's going to be really nice to chip, pitch and putt with as well. That feels really good. So if we look at the numbers we just gathered there, just tried all the different golf balls, we'll see how they compare, see what they do. The Pro V1, as I said, benchmark of the game. I've used it a lot, does what I'm expecting. Carrying in that mid 150s, 160s total. Spin rate, kind of right where I want it. Descent angle, 46 degrees, landing nicely. Height, again, I don't know the exact numbers, TrackMan does. I'm pretty happy where that is. Be interesting to see where they compare and if they do what they should do. If I look at the Pro V1 versus the Pro V1X, what I would see is carry similar, total distance very similar, spin rate certainly up a little bit. So I've gained a little bit in my spin rate and I've gained a little bit in my descent angle. So that ball is landing a little steeper. Pro V1X, unsurprisingly, is going to stop a little faster, and we can see it here. The blue line shows us the images with the Pro V1, red line shows us Pro V1X. Launches a little higher, spins a little more, lands a bit steeper, no loss of distance. So those balls do exactly what the box tells us to do, which we're not surprised they've been doing it for decades. Interesting to see how things compare. If I bring the AVX in, which again was to be its low spin distance ball, spin rate down similar to the Pro V1, might have been my fault. Carry certainly up though, so carry distance up. So I might be looking to gain maybe half a club. If I went to the AVX, I would have gained half a club, but that gain for me is at a cost of descent angle or holding power. So I would then have to have the chat with myself or discuss or make a decision, do I want the extra distance at the cost of stopping power? And again, maybe I mentioned through and hitting shots, possibly a really good winter ball when greens are softer, had greens just been called or something, when holding greens is easier. Not a bad option, still a great feel, a little bit extra in the air, so really, really good option there. We then jumped into the alternatives there. So if we go back to our benchmark, our Pro V1, we have a look at what the TP5 does. Its build has been the same sort of ball, and we're seeing the same sort of numbers. Spin rates, very similar. Ball speeds up a little bit. Carry up a little bit. So it's just a smidge of a gain. Descent angle, still really strong. So a very, very, very good direct comparison or competitor for the Pro V1, exactly what we're expecting, exactly what we know, and I've played both of these balls quite a bit. We then jump to the TP5X, pitches their fastest and longest and highest, and no doubt this is likely to be my new ball. 161 carry, so I've definitely gained at least half a club, possibly a club distance. I've gained spin rate with it, which I don't know how they do it. They are magicians, they've done it well. Height, 32 metres high. 49 degree land angle. That is a super functional shot for me. At 160, if I can stop it like that, that allows me to go at a lot more flags. So I've got to gain a distance and I've got to gain a stopping power. I think I like my new ball. That looks really good. But if we have a look at the price point options, the tour response, actually let's look at there, we can see, look at that TP5X, that looks fantastic. The tour response, let's see how it did. Again, it's a different price point, still a urethane cover, just hasn't got all the ins and outs of all the different core characteristics, but a really good ball, performing great. Same sort of carry as the Pro V1 and the TP5. Spin rate was really nice. Descent angle, really good option if we're looking to get a little extra distance out of our irons especially. Great to get a little extra distance off the tee, but if we can get it through the bag, if I can hit it 5, 10 further off the tee and hit my irons 5 or 10 further as well, after a couple of shots I'm hitting less clubs. That's a really very interesting option for a price point. The other one that interests me, the soft response. So I could buy 2 boxes of soft response basically for the price of the Pro V1, and the numbers are very good. Again, it's a different kind of cover. It's the ionomer cover rather than urethane cover. So it looks a little, I know cheap is probably an unfair word, it looks a little different, doesn't look as premium. Felt great, lower compression distance ball, launched a little bit lower, didn't go as low, spun quite nicely still, distance was great. Generally, at that price point, a great performance ball. But I have no doubt through this process, I've surprised myself I've been playing the wrong ball. I'm changing immediately. TP5X was brilliant. Hopefully all that information gives you what you need to know, gives you an insight of what sort of thing you can look at, a process that's worth going through. I'm really pleased I did it. Any questions, let us know. There's no doubt TP5X is faster. So the orange line at the top, TaylorMade TP5X, blue line at the bottom, the benchmark, the Pro V1. Who doesn't want longer, higher, straighter?